Sunday morning. That means tomorrow's Monday. Most of us, most of you, that means you have work tomorrow. Monday. I wish I had more weekends. Wish I had more days to do what I want to do. Well, therein lies the question. What is it that you want to do? Because all of our lives, we go to school to get ready to go to school. And then we go to more school to prepare us to go to even more school. And then in your last 4 years of school, when you graduate high school, that's just to go to what? Oh, even more school. And then you go to some school, and then if you're prestigious or you're really going to make some money, then you go to another school or more of the same school, right? Everything is school. You spend fucking 20 years of your life going to school. Everybody wants to do all these classes to get a job. You have in your head that you want some job. What is that? What you really did is you stopped and said, I want to be able to make this much money. And then you chose one of the few jobs that you perceive will make that much money. And what's happening, people go to 12 years, 16 years of school. You've got 30, 35-year-olds just now who are out of school, some of them forced out of school because of all the coronavirus shit, right? And what are they doing? Well, I'll get a job at Starbucks, except Starbucks ain't hiring. Starbucks ain't hiring. That's why you have 35-year-old people with degrees working at Starbucks. Those are entry-level jobs. Walmart, fast food. Those aren't feed your family jobs. That's learn how to have a fucking job jobs. But you, rather than figuring out what you wanted, you chose how much money you wanted, right? How much money you thought you wanted to make. So ask yourself, while you're working this job, this 9 to 5, that you dread all weekend going back to take that vacation for a week or 2 weeks every couple years, what do you do when you're on vacation? Do you go to the ski slopes? Love the ski slopes? The second you're there, you're like, this is so beautiful, I don't want to go home. Do you go to some faraway beach and you're like, I could live like this all my life? You go to some other little country, some little island, and go scuba diving and catch, fish and eat them on the beach and live in a little cabana, and you could live this way all your life. Why don't you just live that way all your life? Well, because, I have to make, $120,000 a year, and I have kids. All the great stories we sit and read. Family, got on a sailboat, went and lived on an island, adventure. All the smartest kids in the world, not all of them. We're not trying to divide. But how many fucking great people doing great shit right now? They were homeschooled. They were schooled on a sailboat. They were schooled in the Swiss Alps from a computer 20 years ago. What is it that you want to do? Because we're so focused on making money and then spending 90% of our lives to make the money that allows us to do the couple weeks of things we want to do. When if you just went and lived on a beach and fished every day and did some of those things, you could live like a beach bum and make enough money to live that life by teaching scuba lessons or paddleboard lessons or spearfishing lessons, or document your life and be a YouTuber, or write some books. God forbid somebody writes something now, right? You realize all the stuff that's been written in the last decade, 2 decades that people don't agree with is being removed. It's the digital book burning. If there were books, they'd be burning them, but nobody put them into books. We're so reliant on the internet, and the internet's being scrubbed. They just went through and killed 200 major channels that somebody didn't agree with. Now I want to look at them. I don't know what they are. Stephen Monnier? I don't know, but the people talking about it make me think that I should look it up, but it's not there. A lot of things to think about. A lot of things to think about. If you're watching this, that's for a reason. If you don't like what you're watching, the more important thing to think about is not taking issue with what I'm saying. Why did you just spend the time to watch what I was saying? My point is, figure out what you want to do and start doing it. Don't ask. Don't think it through. Start. Because when you start, you're in motion and new things are going to come. If you play it out and you plan it out and you put it on paper, you're never going to start it. The safety guy, the what if guy, that dude, he ain't doing shit. We all know some of those dudes. And they all want to know how the guys doing the things did the things. And I tell you all the time. But you continue to just watch and consume. And then you're like, well, I've watched what John said for the last 5 years and it hasn't helped me. So you go to the next dude, and what you find is the next dude, he's telling you the same shit. Are you the school guy, or are you the fucking do what you want to do guy? There's nothing wrong with school. Just know why you're going to school. When I need to know something, I'll look it up. I don't have to know calculus or trigonometry. I make enough money to hire the guy that knows calculus or trigonometry. I can't even pronounce it, see? You're wasting your life. You're wasting the best years of your life. I say this as a 50-year-old man who is fucking more than halfway done. No matter how you look at it, I'm on the other side now. If I moved from 20 to 30 and 30 to 40 like I have from 40 to 50, imagine what would be done. Imagine what I could do. Imagine what we would have. Imagine the legacy that would be left for my kids and the family to come. Spend some time with them. But John, all you did was work. My kids were with me all the time. Shit, they're still with me. One of them's going to be here today while we kill these chickens and process them out. Grow your own food. Produce something. Take responsibility for yourself. You think I have any problems with the riots? We watch them. We talk about them. We quarterback it. This new group of black folks that marched on some building in Atlanta, come to find out it's the headquarters of the Ku Klux Klan or something. Good for you guys. Good for you guys. Till you come here. I don't have a problem with who comes here, unless you come here with ill intent. You don't own this. This wasn't taken from anybody. This was earned. This was built. We can be friends. We can be enemies. I didn't know they existed till yesterday. Everybody up in arms sharing it right now. What you're probably going to find out, and I don't know this to be fact, but you're probably going to find out, just like BLM, they're associated with some political party. This is maneuvered, manipulated. This is to make you feel some kind of way. We'll find out, I suppose. Figure out what you want to do. I'm out in the woods here. I have bugs bouncing off my head. I mowed back here yesterday. When I was in prison for 2 years, read a bunch of books, lots of books. Took as much schooling as I could take. Cal Poly professors were all my professors there. At UC Santa Barbara and Cal Poly. So I stayed busy. In my free time, it was all my free time, but in my free time, when I wasn't educating or studying, I laid in bed or, read. While I was in bed, I read Mother Earth News, Backwoods Home Magazine, Live Off the Land, 50 Acres, and Self-Sufficient Lifestyle, stuff like that. And I just sat there and daydreamed of doing that. And I thought, what will I do to make money to allow me to do that? Well, I had already been doing that for 15 years at that point. But I had thought I can go buy some cheap property, which I did in Tennessee. I expected it, I saw it as being Montana or St. James, Arizona, Williams County, Arizona, something like that, because property was inexpensive. And I thought I'd put up a 20 by 40 or a 40 by 60 square foot steel building, put a loft up there, put an apartment, have a nice workshop. That's what I have now. Except it's 16,000 square feet, 10 acres of property attached to national wildlife land. So I kind of ended up doing that, and that never dawned on me till about 6 months ago when I was talking to dudes on a live feed about that, and it dawned on me that's exactly what I've done. And the more of this out here I do, the less of that in there I do. What does that mean? That means I don't have to go to the grocery store because we grow a bunch of our food. I don't have to worry about the food shortage that everybody's panicking over, because we produce our protein, a lot of it. We grow our vegetables more and more. Everything I do here, outside here, is less that I have to do in there. We have employees. We're constantly hiring more employees. And I do that. At some point, it dawned on me maybe a year ago that I do that as much to keep my employees employed as I do to be able to do what I want to do. But more and more, I have to do less of that. I enjoy that. I'm very lucky that I enjoy building gear and selling gear and doing these things. I have always done it as a hobby. And when I was out skiing, I wanted to go home and build some build some bag to hold ski gear. When we were diving, I wanted to go home and build a pack that would go on the side of a scuba cylinder to hold the water. Yeah, so you could wet your mouth underwater while you're diving. When I was out riding dirt bikes, couldn't wait to get home. But because this was always the thing that I wanted to do while I was paying to do something else. And I'm just lucky that that's allowed me that and afforded me that lifestyle. And I'm lucky that my kids have grown up in my business and know how to do this. And it's generational. The company, the family that lives in does small farming, the farmer's kid, he usually wants to go to school so he doesn't have to be a farmer, moves to the city. And then his kids grow up in the city and dream of going to grandpa's house to be a farmer. So it's cyclical, it's generational. But if you have enough money and you have enough motivation, you have the ability for your future family to be able to do both of those. And I don't know, think about it, leave some comments, let's talk about it, figure out what it is you want to do. More importantly, figure out why you're doing it, right? Don't let somebody else tell you what you have to do, because the more you do for you, the less of something else you have to do that somebody else tells you you have to do. Make sense? Leave some comments. Let's talk about it. See what you guys think.